It is test day.
Feels like we just did this podcast.
We did this yesterday.
Well, welcome back. This is the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group podcast. Say that time. Whoa.
No, it is the Sugar Cookie Marketing Baking It Down podcast
with Heather and Corrie Miracle.
Heather has a wee cold.
Just a wee cold. And it's not COVID. You know, because we have, and I don't want to be that guy, but we have a family reunion that it's not our direct family, but we have to go.
I swear if they listen to this podcast, you'll have to delete this.
Well, I can guarantee none of our family listens to this podcast, so we are safe. So, okay, Corrie, with the Sugar Cookie Marketing Baking It Down podcast with Heather and Corrie Miracle, what can people find here?
People can find the intro. You're experiencing this right now.
You're suffering through this currently.
If you're still here, then we go into the marketing minutes. We have a few moments with the business of baking. We have course coverage for Heather and I's the cookie college.
real quality there.
Voicemails, group stuff, Twinterest that someone demanded we bring back, sponsors, and mailbag that we have not checked.
Great. That sounds about it. Okay,
but
so Corrie has
I wanted to use so many people in the group are like, I love the podcast for life. But do you
truly
know
the podcast?
And we are putting you to the test today. If you win, you get 5 internet points and 1 virtual hug. Do not spend them all in one place.
Right. So Corey's going to ask you a question, then we'll go back and forth, right? But we give him 5 seconds to answer it, and then we'll answer it.
5-ish seconds.
5-ish
in the
seconds.
realm of life, it is very long.
1, 2, Mississippi.
Okay, so we have 20 questions, and this is going to put you to the test of, do you truly know the podcast? Are you just playing?
I want to let you know, I didn't know some of these.
I knew them all. Because I was in lockdown for so long and off Facebook because I couldn't comment. I just listened to the podcast.
Oh, really? That's horrifying.
And I said, let me listen to these.
I thought yesterday was pretty funny. Even I was laughing in the bathroom. I was about to leave myself a bad review.
Great. Okay, so we're going to go easy and then we're going to get a little bit harder.
Okay.
But I really want you to be able to, maybe Heather will start a thread in the group. We can see what the total points were for people. So tally up your points as you go. And if you win, maybe Heather will make you a cutter or something.
It's going to be a grabby one.
Okay, question number 1. Which twin was born first? Let me say that one more time. Which twin was born first? Yesterday. If you said Heather, you are correct.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, Heather here. First twin. Which twin is the baking twin?
Bing, 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 bing.
People are going to say this is so annoying. If you said Heather, you are incorrect. I do not even turn on an oven. I'm not really sure what convection means.
So Corrie is the baking twin. Question number 3. What is Heather and Corrie's favorite soda / pop, whatever you call it, wherever you are?
Soda pop.
Soda pop.
We call it Coke.
We call it Coke, but I don't even think that's correct. Because we call everything Coke.
Yeah.
But it's not, because Coke is its own thing.
I don't want that.
When someone was, I was like, can I have Coke? And they were like, yeah. And I said, no, you didn't ask me what type.
Okay, and what type would that be?
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke is the answer. Okay, how many kids does Corrie have? And bonus points if you can name them all correctly. The answer is Corrie actually has 1 kid, and she calls him, stop saying that. Just kidding. His name is Archer.
Everybody laughs because it's true. Number 5. What is the only episode number Corrie did not participate in?
Bonus points if you know why she didn't participate.
Oh, this throws back way towards the beginning.
The answer is Corrie was getting her 5th divorce. If you answered 5th divorce, you're correct.
She is lying. I'm only too. Just kidding. She's only had 1.
The answer is episode number 5. Corrie was in the hospital for kidney stones.
Kidney stones and severe kidney infection. 2 emergency surgeries. Heather held it down.
Imagine what it'd do if the answer above was water and not egg.
Oh, wait. No, you're 1 below.
Okay.
Oh, oops.
Well,
Go ahead.
Just change the format. Name the cat's name that hates this podcast.
Heather only
mentions backstory on this cat. It's my grandmother's cat. It is the smartest cat I've ever met, which is why he walks out in the podcast.
But he is rotund.
Rotund. Her name is Phoebe Weeby Lemon Squeezy. It's the full title. It's Phoebe Weeby, Phoebes to Rooney. Stop doing that is what my grandmother called
But every time we do the podcast, she leaves, just like she just
she's
left.
knocking right now.
I'm going to go.
Okay, let's see. If Phoebe is at the door, I'll be... Come on, Phoebe. Phoebe, will you be lemon squeezy?
That's a no.
She's still at the podcast. At least she's consistent. Okay. What character in the sugar cookie marketing Instagram handle do the twins have extreme disdain for?
If you said the underscore at the end, you are correct.
That is correct.
If for those who don't know, someone already had the sugar cookie marketing handle. They never post to it. So
I offered to pay him $100. They still haven't checked the message.
So Heather does not have that. Now, question 8. What is Corey's husband's job? These are getting harder because I've only referenced it a few times.
I complained about it.
You did recently.
I needed his services he takes feet pictures professionally. Just kidding. He is a police officer who did not get me off of myspaycheck.com. In all fairness, it was a different county. But he also said I wouldn't have anyways.
I don't know if you said question number 9 out loud.
I did. Only reason why is because I played a podcast when I was trying to find these questions and I said it.
Oh, okay.
No,
I think... Huh? Oh.
Sorry, some little mouthing off screen there. What is Heather's boyfriend's name? The answer is Eddie the Edible Printer.
Trick question there, kids. That'll be a freebie if you didn't get that one right. Number 10. Where did the twins vacation this summer?
We covered it in a podcast.
Way back in June.
Can you call it vacation if Corey was yelling the whole time?
I don't know. I was very stressed. If you said Disney, you are correct.
What big item did I sell, this is Heather, last year in less than 30 minutes?
Heather, I think, has only referenced this twice, but she did have a big chunk of of a podcast dedicated to it. So if you can get this one, you are pretty good at the podcast. The answer is
my Ducati Street Fighter 848 motorcycle.
The motorcycle also counts as
you only get half a point if you just said motorcycle.
The next, name at least 2 of Corey's pets. I have 3, so we
decided that she doesn't talk about the cat we know she wouldn't save in a fire if there was a house fire.
No, I love all my animals. Okay, we have Ruby Kitty.
That's the one you don't talk about.
Love her. She's my OG. We have Sweet Baby Ray.
We talk about him a lot. He's an
idiot. And then we have Fuzz Aldrin.
Fuzz Aldrin is also an idiot, but adorable.
So if you named 2 of those, you got that question right.
Corey only refers to them as Fuzz and Ray on the podcast, so those are acceptable answers. How many seats did the twins open up the Cookie College course to? The answer is 250.
250. If you guess that correctly, you move on to the next.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Question number 14. What is the third twin's name?
It has to be the name upon the birth certificate. It can't be the nickname.
It can't be the name he goes by now.
It is Greg Yerickle. Don't make me post that photo again. I will do it. In which state does Heather's actual boyfriend live? I mentioned this on the podcast a few times as I did a drive up there and back in one day.
Someone also asked if you could do a meetup there when you go up there.
Well, you tell him to stop acting up and then maybe we can talk.
He lives in
Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he moved to Pow Pow. Pow Pow, Michigan.
I can't believe I typed that into Google. Pow Pow, please. What? Heather, really? 16. What did the business sell that had an international scandal that the twins had helped with their reputation management? Well, that you wrote that question real funky.
You did. So what was the business?
We helped a business who made international news, but it was a very, 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 very local business. What did they sell? Feet pictures is it?
Why Heather keeps saying feet pictures for those that are not in the group?
In yesterday's podcast.
For those that are just tuning in for the
it was
first
yesterday because we're lazy.
True. If you said pizza place, you are correct.
The feet picture is in reference to yesterday's podcast where Corrie got booted from the group because she was soliciting feet picture from members.
Okay, number 17. What's the twins' favorite
this is a
restaurant?
Harder one. I know we've talked about it. We actually even hosted a meetup
You're
there.
Giving it away.
They're not going to remember. They're not going to remember. They're not going to remember.
Okay. It's not 51. It's Seasons 52.
The reason why they call it Seasons 52 is, I love this marketing angle. It's a Darden restaurant, so it's owned by Olive Garden, so you know it's legit.
So when you're there, your family.
Which also spending a lot. But Seasons 52, it changes the main menu every season, and it changes the special every week. Seasons 52 weeks in a year.
And also everything on the menu is like 450 calories or less.
I think it was under 600.
I heard him say it the other day.
Okay, they have these, their desserts are these tiny little shot glasses full of cake or whatever type of cake you want. But Corrie will order a bunch of them. And I'm like, it doesn't work. Everything on the menu is listed in one serving.
They're so good. Number 18.
In which city and state was the podcast recorded in front of a live audience? That would be Orlando, Florida, a cookie con.
Good job. Now we have only 2 more questions left.
This is fun. I wish we had more questions.
We could definitely come up. We'll do this every week. The
new segment.
We're going to ask questions about the last podcast this time. Number 19. What is Corrie's extremely confusing handle on Instagram? Heather typed that question.
Yeah, I find your handle very confusing.
I have said it so many times. If you don't know who I am on Instagram, and if you don't follow me, it's the crumbed cookies.
Crumbed. Just kidding.
The crumbed cookies.
Yeah, past tense, plural. There you guys go. With what do you call it? An adjective? What do you call those?
You know what really sucks is I went and did a corporate delivery yesterday, and she had me walk into the room, and she said, "And here's Corrie with the crumble cookies," which is a franchise. And someone's like, "Are you the Vienna one or the Burke one?"
Corrie said, "I'm the Woodbridge one.
I'm the home bakery one."
So Corrie and I posed a question: would it be a potentially time for a rebrand? And we haven't answered it yet. Corrie seems sad and left.
I'm sad. Okay, number 19. Oh, number 20.
What is the absolutely stupid product Corrie bought from a Facebook ad?
If you tuned on to yesterday's podcast, you would know the answer.
It is the literally called stupid car tray.
The stupid car tray that I love. Used it this morning.
It's like, where's little baby now? Okay, so that wraps up our weird podcast questions. If you got all 20 questions right, this is a sign that you need help. And please call the podcast with a question. Okay, so this takes us into the marketing minutes. Corrie, I know you want to talk about the difference between a pre-sale and a pop-up, which I see that question a lot.
I know. So I feel like people who enter Sugar Cookie Marketing Group feel like they have to know everything upon entering. And that is one of the questions. That is not the truth.
Do you know everything? Are you Heather?
Yes, please exit. But pre-sales and pop-ups are quite popular in the baking community because both can be great money sources and revenue for your business. What is a pre-sale? What is a pop-up? A pre-sale is a great... Where are you going?
I'm turning it a little hot.
Isn't it going to create ambient noise that you don't like?
I'm hot and I don't feel good.
Okay, Heather makes me not make any sound, and then she turns on sound. Okay, a pre-sale is something you can do almost exclusively online, pretty much. You make an example, a sample is what a lot of people call them, and then you post the picture and you see how many people want to buy it. So you would open your pre-sale, hey, I'm selling this between August 1st and August 31st. I can only make 15. Please order here. And then what people can do is they can place an order for that sample you did. So if we were doing a Halloween set, they could place an order for that set. If you were doing a Halloween set and it had a customization on there, you can use things like Jotform and Google Forms and have them input people's names. So if they were making it for their kid named Archer, they could put that in the form. And then you would be able to know exactly how many you needed to make by October 31st. You
can also throttle how many you have to make. It's a great way of controlling a lot of the aspects of it.
Yeah, so I did for back to school, I did bite-size bits of encouragement. Say that name 5 times fast. But you got a little bag full of mini cookies and you could choose 5 phrases on there. I ended up selling around 25 bags, which was great. And then I had to cut it off because I do only have so many hands and times in the day. But it was able to... I was guaranteed those sales because I do require payment up front, and I highly suggest if you are doing pre-sales to require payment up front so you're not running around towards the end of the month being like, hey, do you still want this? Hey, I made it for you. I haven't gotten an answer back. If you do the pre-sales, collect money upon ordering, and then when the time comes, you send out an email of where they can pick up, and that is basically what a pre-sale is.
I like it. So... pre-sales versus pop-ups, which would you prefer?
For me, and for the time that I have, I can only necessarily really be successful at a pre-sale because pop-ups do require you to bake a lot in a shorter amount of time. So say if we were going to do a pop-up and I wanted to sell macarons, I wanted to sell sugar cookies, drop cookies, cinnamon buns, if you took the live with the Martins, a pop-up, you can do it either on your front porch or you can team up with a local small business and you literally pop up one day for to make as many sales as you can. The problem with pop-ups, not saying it's a problem, is you make everything beforehand, so hoping you're not guaranteed to sell out. Right.
But it's now look from the end user's perspective. The pre-sale is I'm purchasing with delayed gratification, which humans don't like.
Right.
The pop-up is instant gratification.
And you have an opportunity with pop-ups that they can buy one thing and they say, oh, that looks so good right there. I want to buy that too. So you can make a larger sale with a pop-up versus pre-sales.
Now, would a pop-up and a farmer's market kind of run the same concept of campaigning?
They would be, as far as marketing goes, along the same lines. Pop-ups are more of the fear of missing out. I'm not going to be here next week at the farmer's market, whereas farmer's market's every single week.
I like that.
Farmer's market,
Nicole she does the pop-ups and she moves $3,000 worth of product in a day. She's conditioned her audience very much using FOMO, so much that they're hiding in her bushes, which I find
crazy,
hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another great aspect. So for the approach, I think that people are like, well, if I'm not doing pop-ups, I'm not being successful.
No, pop-ups do require some time into there. You can bake and freeze. That is absolutely a strategy.
Good idea.
But if you wanted to, you could take a week and you can make as much product as you wanted to. Your sales campaign will look different for a pop-up than it will a pre-sale because you're really having to hype that fear of missing out.
A pre-sale is hype for pre-orders, right?
Yeah, so you're guaranteed.
So you're really trying to make people fall in love with the date at which they're picking up if you're running it up to Halloween. Yeah. So 2-3 weeks out, I need you to fall in love with the person that you'll be when you pick it up around Halloween.
Yeah, and you get to fall in love with design. You already know the design. Usually with pop-ups, the baker decides what they want to share, what they want to make. A lot of people make stuff and don't post about it. They're just like, hey, come to my pop-up and find the next love of your life kind of cookie design.
Now I've seen people do pop-ups in conjunction with the pre-sale pickup day so that these people come in and to come pick up their pre-sale order and see that this other table over here is pay what you want, pay and grab what you want.
Yeah.
$0. I'm taking everything. But that's a really interesting idea when I see people do that. Now, Gina taught some lives in the group she does a pre-sale pickup.
Yes.
At 2 locations. So she'll buddy up with one of her neighbors at the other end of town and have people give them 2 options to go pick up in certain places. Of course, they are telling her ahead of time so she knows which product needs to be in which location. But that's a really awesome idea, definitely because she can cover more surface area. Mm-hmm. Nicole has really conditioned her audience to understand how her pop-ups work, the items, how she promotes them. They know very well what her pop-up is.
You said a great word there. You said conditions her audience. Will you have a sellout, number 1 successful pop-up the first time guaranteed? Not. No, because your audience isn't prepared for it. Imagine if Heather had a company that sold high heel, red bottom, off-brand shoes. Oh. And then one day she says, here's a tennis shoe. Do you think her audience is prepared to buy a tennis shoe when all they have seen is high heel, red bottom shoes?
No, absolutely not.
So training your audience is going to help you. And if you've not done a pop-up or a pre-sale before, your marketing campaign, the time allotted to market this is going to be a lot longer. You're not going to just say, doing a pop-up tomorrow, please be there. It's not going to work.
A great example of this is Hyundai. Hyundai is a car company. I think it's Korean-based. Notoriously for unreliable cars in the 90s.
You know, just making everybody mad. Someone's like, my 90s.
Okay, but hold on. Hyundai realized that they could rebrand and upmarket their vehicles. So now you see, the Hyundai Sonata, very common car. Everyone likes it. But then Hyundai said, hey, we want to enter the luxury market. Okay, Hyundai was known for these more affordable commuter cars, now wanted to compete with BMW and Mercedes. So they came up with the Genesis line. If you've seen the new Hyundai Genesis, they have the SUV and they have the sedan. They no longer have a sports car, I don't think. If you look at the logo on that car, it is not the Hyundai logo.
It's not.
It just says the word Genesis. The reason that they did that is because their audience is conditioned to see Hyundai as a sign of affordability, but they wanted to upmarket the Genesis line. So they've left off the logo completely. Crazy thing to do, but a lot of auto manufacturers do it. Toyota their luxury line is Lexus. They completely created a new brand so that Toyota could market to the family person.
Honda is Acura.
Yeah. So you guys see how that when your marketing strategy is so different, you've got to condition the audience and warm them up. And then when you go, we have the thing, if your logo says cakery and now you're offering cookies, you gotta consider that in your product lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. I'm getting off a tangent. I would love a Hyundai Genesis SUV.
If we drive past a Hyundai Genesis, look, there goes my car.
The thing looks like it looks like a Rolls Royce, but it's a Hyundai. I just think they've outdone themselves.
Well, back to pre-sales and pop-ups and not others.
Stop dreaming.
Pre-sales and pop-ups, which one is right for you? If you are like me and you work full-time and time is not plentiful, I do customs during the week.
Yesterday.
What? I thought yesterday was day off. I enjoy pre-sales because it lets me know what I'm in for. I can sell a certain amount, then I can open it up and sell a certain amount more. So I can create that same type of FOMO, but I know what my expectations are. So if I sell, say, 15 units for my pre-sale, I know, hey, I got to start baking this day, and then I got to do this, and then I got to do this for it to be ready for pickup by that day. So pre-sales are for planners.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I enjoy it because it works with my schedule.
Planners, but
it's a different type because you're saying you're going through your data for a pop-up and be like, hey, my top sellers are this, this, and this. I really want to push this. I'm adding DIY kits this time. And you're kind of going off of
a different approach.
Different approach. So choosing a pop-up or a pre-sale, there is no wrong answer. And if you do not sell out, that is not a failure. It is taking that data that you learn from that pre-sale and from that pop-up and using that and saying, hey, I'm going to tweak my next pre-sale, my next pop-up, and I'm going to gear it more towards this. I sold out of this product at my pop-up and I didn't move one of these other things. So my next pop-up, I'm going to nix these and I'm going to add more of this because that's what my audience wants.
What Corey's talking about is tracking data. If it can't be measured, it can't be improved. If you guys are flying blind and you don't know how many of XYZ and you made and you don't know how many are left over, then it's really just a stab in the dark about what sold well. You're just going off of a feeling, which is very dangerous.
The annoying thing with pre-sales, I will say, so you don't usually just buy one bag. Like say if you were doing a packaging thing, like the boo bags I did. It came in packs of 10 or you could get it to packs of 50. So you have to invest, unfortunately, in at least one bag, which you have to get 10. Yeah. So then you'll have 10 bags. So if you don't move any, then you're stuck with the 10 bags. But I don't say if your pre-sale doesn't work and nothing moves to just forget it. Repackage the idea and sell it as something else. Don't just be stuck with 10 bags because you feel like your one post didn't perform well. If your audience isn't used to boo bags, you're going to have to do a little bit more of a guerrilla marketing campaign, whether you make one and give it away to get the name out there. You post a bunch about it. It's not usually just a one and done type of thing for pre-sales.
Well, great points. We're going to do a pop-up.
We're going to do a pop-up. Heather said I can take a week off and bake my buns off. And then we can see if we can do it. The only thing I don't want with a pop-up is I want my stuff to look cute, but I don't want to have those giant, like, bins and, the cute little...
The tiered thing?
The
you don't have this already?
No. Why would I ever need it?
I bought the first one Hobby Lobby laid out.
Put it where?
I don't know. Corey and I are going to have an intervention on our basement storage. I don't know.
Whatever the place.
Fridge. Okay, that's a great point. I like that one, Twin. The business with baking, as you know, I've decided to take all the steps to combat a speeding ticket. I've gotten many speeding tickets in my life. One of these days I'll learn to slow down, I guess. But I've never actually followed the course of action recommended to combat one. By the popular mechanics article, Virginia ranks the fourth worst state to get caught speeding in, New York, Massachusetts, and New Jersey being the third, second, and first. So Virginia loves its speeding tickets. But the steps they recommended to combat a speeding ticket was ascertain your driving record, retain an attorney, complete a reckless driving improvement class, community volunteering, speedometer calibration, your college GPA report card, and character statement, signed and dated.
I'll write one. I'll be truthful.
Signed and dated. I will Photoshop it. So I got the driving record, got the traffic attorney.
You should have Nate write one because he's a cop.
Oh, would he? Can you write it for him, have him sign it? And I completed the reckless driving improvement class. And so community volunteering's ticket came up, and I did that on Friday.
Heather loved it.
It was crazy. I've actually never had the opportunity to work a retail job, even though I thought it would be fun.
I worked retail. You choose what you do when you come out of high school, and I went retail, and I don't know where Heather went.
I went to government contracting, but when I showed up, it's kind of an awkward, hey, I'm here because I'm required to be.
I know, and I'm here to help.
I'm here to help because I have to. So this tiny, adorable little lady named Ninfa is like, hey, have you ever seen a point of sale system? And I said, honestly, oddly, no. And she's like, well, welcome to your life today. Yeah. Honestly, I can't begin to describe how much I messed it up. I messed so much
Heather
stuff
charged one man, it was like $3.29. She charged him $300.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
$1,000.
I said, there has been an issue. But it was really messy back there, and they let me clean it up. I mean, I had Purell. I had cleaned out sales tickets from 5 years ago.
By the end of it, they asked Heather, please get another ticket and come back here.
Yeah, they asked me, they said, we don't allow walk-ins, but we will for you. I said, I'm sure you will, because that was dirty. So anyways, I spent about 4 hours working this point of sale system in a thrift shop. And when I say thrift shop, I want to say it is all aspects of a thrift shop. Don't think something Goodwill organized. This is state-run. And the amount of people who came up to spend...
Is Goodwill not run by the state?
I don't think it is, but this one was.
Oh, okay.
This is Northern Virginia Family Services. The amount of people who came up to buy another person's trash, because literally as much as people were buying, people were dropping off stuff for absolutely free. I know, because for some reason I was signing the thing they needed to turn into the government. I don't know where I was signing it.
Did you have to say like how much it was worth?
I don't know what I did. She just kept saying, just sign it. And then there was one line that said employee signature. I felt like that was me.
Oh.
Yeah, it was wild.
You signed Heather Miracle?
It's on there. Some tickets the government's going to get. But, a woman came up and she probably sat in the store for 2 hours going through old jewelry. Stuff that I probably have...
And it's not... It wasn't nice jewelry.
It wasn't luxury jewelry. It's very tarnished sterling silver costume jewelry. She came up, we started bringing her out, and she constantly fought Ninfa on price. She would say, I don't think this is worth this. And then Ninfa, who was not trying to make a profit, she was trying to move product, was like, okay, let's agree to this. Let's agree to this. So absolutely everything she put on the counter, she fought on the price. She got a discount. And she ended up spending over $300 on costume jewelry.
Wow.
So with my 4 hours standing there, I probably went through about $2,000 worth of people buying other people's trash. But almost every other person fought on the price because we were at a thrift shop and they understood how it worked. And absolutely everyone who asked for a better price got it. Those people are a type of audience that works well for thrift shops. That thrift shop has too much stuff. It needed more space. So our job was to get the stuff out the door. Mm-hmm. Now, when we talk about our cookies, a lot of you guys are like, well, I raise my prices and people balk at the price and they ask me to discount. Yeah, you were a thrift store pricing point. You were at a thrift store pricing point and now you've raised your prices. And the thrift store people who are conditioned, here's that word again, to ask for the discount because that's what you do there. I was surprised when somebody didn't fight me on the price.
Oh, really?
Also, wasn't authorized to lower the price, so I had to go find info every time. But when... those people at the thrift shop would not be caught dead at Tyson's Mall.
No.
It wasn't what they wanted.
Right.
They wanted the search and seizure. They wanted the discount. They wanted the treasure hunt. They wanted the discount. They want to feel like they got one up on the thrift store.
Yeah.
Little they know, the thrift store just needed to move a lot of products. Yeah. They were running out of space. So what I've learned is, one, people will buy anything. That was my biggest takeaway from this thing, is there's stuff that people were buying that was broken and they still bought it. And, they weren't even looking it over. There was a no return policy. You could not return anything you purchased there. Charge tax on everything. So anything that was in there was constantly floating through. People were standing at the checkout line. This is my second thing, is upsells. At the checkout line where I was standing, there was so much stuff right in front of them. But I watched almost every person pick something up around them and throw it on the counter.
Hey, in Sephora?
Yeah, that Sephora thing is so dangerous. The snaky line with all the little tiny products that are still really expensive.
But that's great strategy for pop-ups. Mm-hmm. So if you have your checkout, whether you're there or not, having something around that checkout portion can lead to more sales, especially if there's a line forming. They have nothing but to stare at your products.
Absolutely. So a lot of people stood there. And in the thrift store, none of this stuff matched. A lot of it was, haphazard, but a lot of people just grabbed it and threw it on there. And another funny thing I saw is a lot of people would put the stuff that they wanted to hold as they went back to treasure hunt up front. as they put it up front, more people became interested in it.
Because someone else wanted it.
Yeah. It was up front and center. Now somebody wanted it. There was a desire there. Now, if they get it, I don't. And then people would say, hey, can I purchase this? No, unfortunately. And so then I had to start writing sold on it so that people wouldn't grab it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then my final thing is when it comes down to your target audience, if you're at thrift store pricing, you cannot be mad at the client who asked for the discount. That's what they do. It's what they're used to, and it's what they're conditioned to think. But when you switch over, you're going to have that.
It's going to be a lull where you're going to lose sales. People that were used to paying your cheaper prices are not going to want to pay more. They got the same exact thing to them for cheaper. So for you to raise the prices, whatever excuse you use, whether it be butter is more expensive or anything like that, that's going to be something that's going to be hard to justify for them. They're used to paying a certain price, and now you are up to that price for the same product.
Right. So could you make a business with thrift store stuff? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm going to tell you that I saw Ninfa and her 2 assistants. They never stopped moving. I think she had a Mercedes, a beautiful Mercedes parked outside, but I still don't think she was paid enough. The amount of running around that she had to do to accommodate this. Okay, look like Tyson's. How many hours is it going to take a Tyson store to get through $2,000 worth of product? Guess is going to do it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
This, I had to work 4.5 hours to get through that much product. It was so much more work and so many more people, so much conversation. We had to go back and forth. I don't want to pay this. I think that's too much. Hey, I want to find the other shoe. Dude, I don't know. If the shoe's not there, it doesn't sound like we have it.
To that aspect, if my dozens are let's just say they're $60 a dozen. But someone else is charging $30 a dozen. Let's say if I'm like, okay, lowering my prices, now it's $30 a dozen. I have to do twice as much work to make the same amount if I was charging $60 a dozen.
But I would allege that it's not just twice as much work. I think it's going to be more because someone posted in the group yesterday, cheaper clients are a little bit higher maintenance. A friend of mine named Mike, he works in IT infrastructure. He says it's so funny. Our average contract per month is around $5,000, upwards of $100,000. But his, these typical clients, we install a server and stuff. He said the client who pays us $1,500 a month, $1,500, is so high maintenance because we're at the top of their budget. He said the client who pays us $5,000 a month, we hardly hear from because our job is that they don't have to worry about us.
Right.
So consider that when you feel like somebody's like, hey, that's just way too much. It is way too much for their current budget. And that's okay. It's absolutely fine. Nobody's wrong here. They're not wrong for asking for the discount. They're not wrong for saying it's too expensive. It is to them. That's their reality. But for you, it's also your reality that you got to cover your costs and you're going to face burnout. I saw some people in the group yesterday saying they're just really tired.
Yeah.
They're just so tired.
We're just getting into like the
holiday,
the championship game for cookies and baking, and that's the holiday season.
Imagine if you raised your prices by X amount of dollars and it allowed you to take one additional day off, but you still made the same amount.
Wow, what a recharge.
Yeah.
I love that.
So let's say, okay, aside from weekends and stuff, let's say one day a month is absolutely free if you raise every sale by $1. What if you raise it by $2? You get 2 days off? And just consider that. If you're at a price that's so low and you're so burnt out, you're going to quit. You're just going to quit. You can't. There's only so much energy.
Yeah.
So I thought the thrift shop was very interesting, aside from the demolition I did on the point of sale system.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to use them.
I could tell.
Someone asked for a tax exempt. I said, buddy, I gotta find some help. Some guy whispered, he's like, you seem way too nice to work here. Thank you. I don't.
I volunteered. I wanted to go into the Instagram course.
Okay, so Corey's referring to the Cookie College, the 250 people. We have some seats opening up at the end of the month. We had some college dropouts. Love them, though. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thanks for spending time with us.
If you guys come into the Cookie College course and then life changes, there's an ebb and flow. You have more money this month. You have less money next month. And you have to take a break from the college, I will never be mad at you.
Dude, I'm just appreciative that you spend any time with these annoying voices.
Right. So if you have to leave the college, hey, I'm so glad you spent at least a month or two with us. Then go back into the Sugar Cookie Marketing main group and continue to ask those questions.
Yeah.
And if we can help you there, let's help you there.
You're peoples.
you're still our peoples.
You're most of our people. At the end of the day, we talk about our sponsors and we talk about you guys. If it wasn't for your support and specifically the Cookie College people paying, if that hadn't sold out, we wouldn't have been able to continue this.
We wouldn't.
It's been a blast and I have a lot of fun. But like we say, you got to make money if it takes this much effort. And Corrie and I worked on this project for over a year. Before we monetized
Actually, we paid money out of our own pockets.
I think probably startup cost around $5,000 if we're honest.
If we were honest.
So when you guys pay back into this, I know you're like, you're selling to us. Absolutely. And thank you so much for paying into this. Because you have a blast working with you guys. This has been my shining light for the past year because I was getting pretty burnt out in my day job.
And it wasn't because of work. It was because of clients.
I
love you guys. Love you clients. But I wanted to talk about the course. We are going to be highlighting. There's going to be a course that comes into the college, and it is for the Bakesy app. Oh, yeah. And the Bakesy app is an all-in-one done mobile place where you can take orders. You can send your, what am I looking for the word?
Invoice.
Send your invoice. You can mark your calendar as booked or open and everything like that from one spot. So the Bakesy team is going to teach a course on that in the
A lot of
Cookie
people
College.
ask about the Bakesy app.
They were actually at both Cookie Cons. So you could have known from them there.
Who's the gentleman we talked to, Daniel?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how the Bakesy app works. I know you pay a monthly fee to them, which is great because it takes money to make money. And then you can use them as an invoice, a payment processor, and you pay them a small fee just like you would through Stripe. Or you can just invoice through Stripe and skip there.
Yeah, so you go right all the way to the end, and instead of using them, you would just send your link to
there's something like a workaround. So that seemed cool, and Daniel seems nice. They seem really techie people.
I need to email him today.
Okay, I'll remind you. The Cookie College, if you want to check out kind of what the offerings are, you can go to thecookiecollege.com and just peruse. Have an example video of some of the content that we have in there. I have a breakdown of some of the stuff. What are the classes you've added this month?
I did the Instagram one, working on DIY kit pre-sales. We're doing our test this week and next week.
I have an SEO mini-series, and people say it puts them to sleep, and they love it.
I did my Dragon Eye bake-along.
Corrie has promised the Cookie College one bake-along each month, so it isn't marketing related, but it allows you to add more product. And
right. I actually kind of enjoyed the bake-along. I didn't think I would.
But you have a flower bake-along this month.
Yeah, this month.
Okay, that is fun. The college is fun. And the group there, yes, are we dangling this in front of you guys like a carrot? Absolutely. The group, the Facebook group, because you get access to that private group when you pay in, they ask a little bit more in-depth questions. And we can really, people are like having an issue with this domain name. Okay, let's get the DNS record set up. Let's get Facebook integrated here so they can get the pixel running.
And then if I can do a pre-sale photo, spend my own money and help you and take the photos for you, give you the copy.
Yeah, Corrie, and I gotta say, absolutely, a carrot in front of you guys. Corrie has decided to take these photos and write everything you need to post the photo, the copy, purchase everything you need if you want to recreate the photo and make the cookie and things like that. And then where she bought everything, any discount codes, and you walk them through everything.
Yeah. So the hard thing with pre-sales, as we talked about, is you have to buy the stuff to try to sell it. But sometimes you don't sell out, and now you're stuck with either bags, boxes, cutters, and things like that. So let me spend my money. Let me do the photography. Let me give you the copy, and you can see how many pre-sales you can actually nail. So say if you make 10 pre-sales, you say, okay, good. Now I can invest in this stuff and I can actually sell this. But you get all the copy and the photos beforehand, so you don't have to spend the money to make it.
I like it.
Now I have the boxes and the bags right over my house.
Okay, so that's great. So as we move along here, that's the Cookie College. Again, if you want to check it out, thecookiecollege.com. Actually, what's cool is the Cookie College includes these digital downloads each month, but a lot of people just wanted that aspect of it. So you can actually buy the monthly digital downloads for $10.
I think so.
$10 subscription. So that means you pay into it each month, and then you get a set of 12 Instagram and Facebook posts that you can customize in Canva, which I walk you through how to do everything. I've already built them out in Canva. All you have to do is add your photo, change your text.
And I think you used the free version of Canva.
I made sure to use the free version so that everything I created, you can create from the absolutely free version of Canva.
So people who are like, I don't know what to post, I never have enough content, this is for you.
Yeah, if you are posting once a year, we talked about you yesterday, this would be your solution. And you can just use a scheduling app like Facebook Business Suite to schedule it out for the month, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. Yeah. Moving along, we have voicemails. Here's a text. Hello, twins. This is Melissa from the Cake Pop Factory, listening from the big booming metropolis of LaShara, Nebraska. Just kidding. There's a population of 60-ish people here within the township limits. Anywho, I just want to say thank you for the group. Thank you for the podcast. And thank you for always being willing to share your tips and tricks to help us make us all successful in whatever we're selling. Shout out to my Cake Pop peeps. No question here. Just wanted to say, please don't get rid of the twin twist portion. I heard one of you mention that you were getting rid of it, and I immediately thought, no, because it's one of my favorite parts on the show. I also wanted to share some wins with y'all. Because of your advice and guidance, my tiny business is officially booked for the rest of the year. I've successfully been booked for a wedding in September 2022, and I feel like I'm mastering the delicate art of customer service and setting my boundaries. And also, I've revamped my booth setup using the feedback from last week's podcast. Again, thank you all for everything you shared with us, and thank you for reading my long novel. Hi, twins, it's me again. I forgot. I actually do have a question. On business cards, I see a lot of bakers refer to themselves as cookiers or cookie artists, and I love that fun title. I currently use owner baker. On my cards, I want to pick your brains for something more unique and fun. What would you call someone who makes cake pops?
Cake popper.
I would say the business title works really well when you have a company that has a hierarchy, owner, account manager, things like that. A lot of us are a one-man band, Corrie and I, two-man band. It's not a lot of people here. So I would use that line on your business card as a funny marketing channel, I think I had said God's gift to dough one time when somebody was asking what to name themselves as a cookie business owner. Cake pop queen, things like that.
Something fun that could show your personality. You sound fun, at least just in this text message you sent in.
Yeah. So Melissa, like something a little bit more creative, because everyone knows you're the owner, operator, marketer, account manager, front desk manager, office admin, things like that. I would encourage people to be a little bit more creative here, because I'd rather people laugh at it than just see it. Otherwise, we're just going to glance over and it's not going to stick.
It's not going to stick. Exactly. Unless you have the last name Miracle.
Hello.
We have voicemail number 2 is a text from 407. Hi, twins. I am Jennifer from Got Cookies in South California, and I absolutely love the podcast and have learned so much. I've recently set up the Google My Business page and website. Thank you for the info on this. I had no idea how to do this before the podcast, but I'm unsure how to set up a payment option on my website and be able to sell directly from my webpage. How do you go about setting this up? Thanks again for all the invaluable information. You have really helped me take my business to the next level. Love you both. Jennifer from Got Cookies. So how would she set up payment on her website? It really does depend on
your website builder. So there's many options. Okay, let's start from step 1. I don't have a website. Okay, PayPal does invoicing. You'll set it up as PayPal business. You'll give them either your social or EIN number for your business if you're registered, and then you'll be able to invoice people and charge people through that. And you can create a button on that as well, or a landing page and things like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's I'm out the gate. I need something going. Square allows you to collect invoicing from a point of sale system. And I do think it integrates with Weebly, which is a website platform. So I think that's what most people are doing from that. I think the Square does do its own websites. I need to get into Square a little bit more.
I think it does.
So that's another option. JotForm is a form, an intake form that you can connect a payment processor to. You'll need to create that PayPal business account or that Stripe account or that Square account, but you can connect it to JotForm. So when somebody's about to submit to you an order, before they can click that submit button completely, you'll have to collect payment, which is great because we're in team 100% payment up front for orders under X amount.
For orders, all of us.
But if you were a wedding,
give me the money.
Yeah, I agree. But I get why some people don't do it for bigger, larger corporate orders. So that is what that is. Now, one of our sponsors is going to launch, I think, on the 19th. They're Cast Iron. They handle payment processing. I think they use Stripe as well to process that. And then they take a commission off the top. But that's how that. So Cast Iron, you just say, here's my shop. Here's my products. Send the link to your clients. They click through. They buy. Cast Iron handles the payment processing. You get money, less their fee and less taxes, or less the payment processor fee. Mm-hmm. And then you get paid out into your bank account. So there's many options on ways to take money. And then cold hard cash. You could do that too. I don't carry cash on me unless...
I don't do cash because I don't have anything to break your cash with because I don't carry cash. I also require payment at the time of booking. So I'm not having you drive over to my house just to give me cashish. Which is fine if you want to. It's just not my ideal client. It's not going to. So some people are like, I only carry cash. And I say, well, I actually only take these forms. If you would like to book, you need to create an account on these platforms.
And so basically, Jennifer, to work the problem backwards, find out whatever website builder you're using. It's Wix or Square, or if it's GoDaddy, and see who they integrate with. They're going to have an option for it. A lot of these places do now. I know WordPress, I've integrated using WooCommerce in with Stripe, I think. So those are all fancy words to say it's just the process of connecting the website to a payment processor.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 actual voicemails. Let me play.
Neat. Hi, it's me again, twinsies. Just left a voicemail, went terribly. Let's try again. So my question is, I have a Facebook page that was hacked. Awesome. Reported it to Facebook. They're doing absolutely nothing. So if you know how to fix that, please help a sister out. My real question is, my handle matches that page from my Instagram. So they were connected. They were the same handle. So I could just hand out my cute little cards and say, hey, follow me at this handle on Facebook and Instagram. Can't do that anymore. So I need to know, do I change my Instagram handle to match my new page that I'm creating? Or do I just suck it up and put a different handle on both of them? Do we need that continuity? How do you feel about that? Help a sister out. Thanks so much for all you do. Love you. Bye.
All right, Heather, you take that one because I know you did at Sugar Cookie Marketing _
Yeah. So in a perfect world, we would have continuity. That would be my goal, is that my website, my Instagram, my Facebook page, my TikTok, the handles all match. Fortunately, last I checked, the world is imperfect. Neither is Sugar Cookie Marketing _ on Instagram. So one of the guarantees is you're never getting that Facebook page back. Let's operate under that concept that the odds of you getting it back are slim to none.
She's like, gee, thanks.
I know, right? But Facebook is operating a skeleton crew right now, and there's just been a huge gap in customer service for them. Okay, whatever. I have not seen anyone be able to recover their Facebook page that's been hacked in the last year. I haven't been able to see it. Maybe if you would talk through an ads account manager, possibly. But even getting a hold of them these days it's hard.
I can't even advertise that.
So yeah, okay, Corey's no help. So what I would say is, if you could have continuity, great. My question would be this. Probably if it were me, I'd leave the Instagram handle the same. On the new Facebook page, assuming that you could match it. So Sugar Cookie Marketing, let's pretend that's the Facebook handle we can't get. Then Sugar Cookie Marketing, and I even hate to say this, VA, because you're location based. Yeah. I would add maybe the state identifier, the state abbreviation.
At the handle. You can name a page the same.
So keep the page name the same. The handle, I would keep it as the same to the original page as possible. If you completely rebranded, this is a different answer. So I'm assuming you didn't rebrand. You just can't access that original page handle that mirrored your Instagram.
Yeah.
Probably keep the Instagram the same. I'd probably keep the front end side of the handle the same, and then just add the state identifier to the end there, which I know, not ideal. It's not a perfect world. It's not a perfect solution. Neither is the _, at the end of Sugar Cookie Marketing on Instagram.
And then I'd almost make a post on your page to let them know. Like, people are going to at your old page name because that's what they're used to. So you're going to have to tell them, like, hey, this is what happened. Hacked.
Right. So, she's got to operate, for those of you listening, she's lost access to her page. She can't make the post on that original page anymore, which is why I'd love to encourage you guys. There's a couple, tips I'd have here is have more than one admin on your page, and have both admins have very strict password managers and 2-factor authentication turned on. Somebody posted in the group yesterday saying, why am I getting this verification code? And I said, hey, it's because somebody has your logins. They're just getting stopped at that one point. You're already compromised. What happens next is up to you. So guys, I even go as far as to recommend changing those passwords. LastPass.com will tell you when your password has been compromised, when you've had it for too long, and when you're using it in multiple places. If you don't follow what I'm saying, remember that I told you so? This is it coming again. You will lose access to your account eventually. It's a matter of time.
Yeah, what sucks is they can boot you out, and the recourse is very, very difficult to ever get that back from Facebook. So all that hard work, all you've learned in Sugar Cookie Marketing could be risk if you don't just take a few minutes to solidify a good password and a good password manager.
Yeah, so, Annoyingly, my password for Facebook is 17 characters long. I don't have to remember it. I have LastPass. I do pay for the LastPass subscription. It's free on one device. I do have it running on two, so it's $36 a year. And it'll be one of those things I probably pay for the rest of my life.
And what's great is when I was locked out of Facebook, I still needed to make some posts and do some work using it. So I had Heather send me her password, and how she sent it, she can send it to me through LastPass, and it makes it so I can't even see the password. I can only use the password. So she still was able to cover herself and not send me the actual password. I just was able to use it when I logged into Facebook, but I could not physically see it. So if you have a VA, if you have a friend who's helping you manage or something like that,
and you trust them, but you also don't want to have to change your password every time they're done, you can just share them that password through LastPass, which populates it without showing it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another voicemail here.
Hi, ladies. I'm so thankful for the knowledge that you ladies share on the podcast. I've learned so much by listening to you all and being a part of the Facebook group. I have a question about the Main Street Cookie Collab. I'm really excited to do this. I live in the beautiful city of San Antonio, Texas. My question is, in San Antonio, we don't really have a great like Main Street sign, but what we have are several wonderful places that we love to hang out and take, visitors to. We have the Riverwalk, which is beautiful. And then we have this other area that's really up and coming the last few years, kind of an urban brewery that has been, rebuilt, and it's called the Pearl. And but it's a completely different location. But what I was wondering is, what do you think about if I did a set of cookies for San Antonio? I'm thinking like 3 different cookies with the 3, like several different, like beautiful hot spots, places like that. I know that the Pearl area has a pretty big following as far as social media. So of course I can, tag them. And, but I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. If I could do like several cookies to, bring out several beautiful parts of our great city of San Antonio. So my name is Holly Carnahan. I'm the owner of Jordan Taylor's Designs. And that's it. That's what I wanted to ask you ladies. And thank you so much. Have a great day.
Holly, that is a fantastic. If you have the time and you can do that, absolutely do that. I would love it if you made it a marketing campaign for yourself where you highlighted great places each week on your Facebook page. That really creates a local feel, a local vibe, a local community. And that's something you can add in addition to all of your other offerings. So instead of always feeling like you're pushing sales on your page, you can actually highlight different aspects of your beautiful city that you live in. If you wanted to post them all at once on Friday for the Main Street Cookie Collab, absolutely. And then sprinkle them out. On Friday, you can post them all and then highlight each one with like a write-up. Like, this place has been around since the 60s and it went through this name change. You can find this here. I visited it a million times. This is where I got engaged or something from your efforts there. You can really make that content work for you. So on Friday, post if you want to post them all, absolutely. But then take different photos so you can use them throughout the next couple of months, because that is a great campaign that can actually bring you loads and loads of local people to your page, and odds are they'll share it, especially if you can email the business and say, hey, I was wondering if you can give me some fun facts or tidbits about this location so I can highlight it and reach more people for you guys through my page. So whichever one you want to do, I think it's fantastic. I don't have enough time this week, so I'm only going to do one. But because of that, what I've been able to do on my Facebook page is go to the farmers markets. I'm already going to take pictures there and highlight it that way. I just can't make a cookie because I don't have the time.
Cool. Love it. So when is that? Actually brings us to group
Friday.
stuff.
But if you want to call in or text in, our phone number is 571-556-5644, or you can email in at hello@sugarcookiemarketing.com.
We've got a bunch of emails. We got to hit those up next time. We got to go back through the emails. Got some great questions in there. I totally forgot about it.
I was giving them an email address.
Sorry, guys. Don't email us. We got to go through the ones we got.
But call, text, or email, and we will hopefully be able to feature you on one of the podcasts coming up.
Great. And thank you for all you guys. Obviously, I'm feeling in a grateful mood. Thanks for all the guys who email in and message in.
And the gals.
And the gals. And Phoebe Weeby Lemon Squeezy for messaging in. It does make that less painful for us to talk to ourselves. Group stuff. Okay, so we had some awesome past lives. I think we covered it in yesterday's impromptu podcast. But
I don't think we touched on which ones we did because we didn't have it written down.
Not a clue. We were unprepared. But we had Biscotti Babe Bake Along with Jessica Forster. She is the Biscotti Babe of the group, and she, that's the name of her business, which is hilarious. She really takes some amazing photos of biscottis.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
She loved doing her bake-along so much. Now she is creating a virtual bake-along for her business.
A genius. And yeah, what a great way to practice a virtual bake-along by, one, you're giving away your services free, but I guarantee the group will tell you if they don't like something.
Just kidding. Everyone loves it. CookieCon Dallas officially wrapped up. And Heather, I think they gave the alert to when is the next one and
it's
where
in Reno next year, March 2nd through the 5th, 2022.
Yeah, but they're only right now going to do one.
Right. Apparently, poor Mike and Karen are exhausted, and God bless their souls. They did CookieCon Orlando, and in less than a month, headed out to Dallas to do it all over again for an even bigger group.
Yeah. Wow. But so that's going to tell you they were able to have around over 700 people at Orlando and over, I think, 1,000 people at Dallas. And now all those people, plus anyone who wants to go, is going to try to sign up for Reno. So the day that cart opens.
So people are going to ask, I know, because people are asking me, when can I buy tickets? Can I buy tickets now? No. They make an announcement. Everyone sits on the website to see if they can buy it.
5,000 hours.
Then it sucks them up
into a room.
Waiting room. Thing. And then you get selected. Here's the one thing I've noticed. If this is our first CookieCon, a lot of people, it's a risky click. A lot of people the week before the event start shedding off their tickets. A lot of people who can't make it realize that the refund period ends a month before the event.
Yeah, so you can't get your money back, and then
But also, was that because of COVID?
I think it was.
Right.
But life happens too. So
I wouldn't rely on it, but maybe if you lived really close to Reno.
Yeah.
And CookieCon was on your primary, maybe I'd wait in the rafters to see if you can swoop in and grab some tickets.
So there is a CookieCon group. It's called CookieCon Attendees.
But you can't join it unless you've already gone. They check to see if you're in their database.
I didn't have a ticket number.
Corey, we were speakers.
Didn't know. I didn't think they knew I was. But maybe you can get someone who's in there if that time comes. We have a long road before they open the tickets, but just if you are thinking about it, start budgeting for it now. We do have YNAB coming and speaking in our group.
Yeah, that'll be great. And they're going to talk about budgeting for CookieCon.
Yeah, so that'll be in November, but I don't have the details yet, so we'll talk about that one else.
Now, Cake Pop Cones Bake Along with Meredith Martins. If you don't know the Martins,
they are God's gift to the group.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep giving us free information, but James, so Meredith and James are married. They own a bakery together. It's adorable.
Full time.
They went full time last year sometime. Yeah. And James got really into making Swiss method Macs, right?
Isn't that what he did?
Yes.
Yeah.
So their first live, they taught everybody how to do those. And Corrie took it and
have loved that live. That live taught me everything I needed to know.
Okay, great. So then we had, it's so funny, another lady named Heather Martin, who's not related to them, taught the French method. And then Meredith and James came back and taught us how to make the cinnamon buns that they're a huge hit for their Christmas sales.
Yeah, and I made those fantastic.
Delicious. And now Meredith thought everyone was really distracted by her kids in the first Mac Live, so they're doing it again on the 25th of October. No kids. That was what the submission said. No kids.
No kids. But they did a Cake Pop Cones Bake Along. So if you have struggles like me with cake pops on sticks, this is a great way to be able to offer cake pops, and they're in little cones. So it looks like a little ice cream cone, but it's technically just a cake pop in a tiny cone. Then you can make, she posted a Santa in a cone. I thought it was adorable. So that is something you can tune into. It is, if you go to the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, go up to the events tab, and then you're going to scroll down and you're going to click past events, and it will show you everything, every past event we've had. Heather did an awesome job and put that live in the event in the discussion portion, so you can click there and you can watch it.
What did I do? Oh, yeah, I put it at the top. Okay, so we have upcoming events. Tomorrow, Nicole, bless her soul, she's doing a fondant and sugar paste
I
tutorial.
need to tune into this one.
Yeah. I don't even know what those words mean, but she's good at it. She makes flowers and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I need. So fondant, it can be squishy, and you would cover cakes with it. Or you can put it in dehydrator and make it hard like a sprank. Sprinkle for, that's what we call them over here.
Spranks. Okay, that's a good one. That's tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time. Nicole, bless your soul. Then we have this Friday is a Main Street Cookie collab, which is what the caller asked about earlier. You're doing what? Claire's at the Depot?
Claire's at the Depot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to... Oh, we have to go there on Thursday.
You said Wednesday.
Tomorrow? You're going to have it done?
I'm going to dehydrate it.
Okay.
Well, maybe is Thursday an option?
I don't see why not.
Okay. Maybe we'll do Thursday.
Okay, and then we have the Lawyer Baker AMA with Tammy Browning-Smith. Now, we had this on the calendar a while ago. She had to reschedule. Absolutely fine. Bless you guys for doing this. They do this absolutely free. But she is a lawyer, and she's here to school us on all our questions. Her AMA is Ask Me Anything. She's already taken a lot from the group. She said she's really excited about this. Sent me a message about it yesterday, so I'm excited. And that'll be on October 21st at 8 p.m. And then we have, the Mac Martin child-free tutorial on the 25th. And that'll be at 4:30. I think they take around 2 hours for that one. I don't remember what they did the last time.
Yes.
Iki. The group challenge is, like we said, it's a Main Street Cookie collab, but Sugar Dot Social at Vanish Brewery in Leesburg. If you're in the DMV, Sugar Dot Cookie is a business with a Sugar Dot or Dottie. She's very well known here. She teaches a lot of classes. She sells a lot of cutters. Just an all-around really, really nice person.
Yeah.
She has a Facebook group called Cookies as a Business with Sugar Dot, and she's hosting this really fun meetup where she's asked us to speak about cookie collaboration over competition.
Yes.
And that's great because there's so many cookiers here in the DMV.
They're really, and they're all talented.
They're getting more and more talented.
I need to move.
So the date on that one is November 9th. It'll be from 5 to 8, $20 to show up. And then you get to go support a local business, Vanish Brewery in Leesburg.
I know. So that'll be actually really fun. I think she's got a good crowd that is going to come.
I think she has some insane reach. She said she's limiting it to 50. And I don't even know that I know 50 people.
Heather knows me. Okay, we are at Twinterests. As you know, Eddie, the edible printer, is our sponsor, and I'm going to be using him more often, but sometimes with Eddie, because it is a water-soluble ink that he uses, you can have color bleed. Just like you have color bleed in your icing, you can have color bleed with the Eddie prints.
Especially if your recipe is more moisture-based.
Yeah, so a lot of butter, if you're using a lot of water, if you have a very loose flood, things like that can play into if your Eddie print is successful or if it's not. There's this spray that people in the Eddie group were talking about. It's called a PME spray, and you would print, you let it dry 10 minutes.
P as in pumpkin, M as in mandolin, E as in egg. Sorry,
eggplant. But PME is a brand, and you know they usually make the FDA-approved golds and things like that, and they make cutters and things like that. So the spray is supposedly going to be God's gift if you deal with color bleed. Another thing that plays into the color bleed is if it's humid. We happen to live in DC, which is based on a swamp, so it's always a bazillion degrees humidity.
So that's my hair.
Yeah, our hair is constantly ginormous. So this spray, and I'm going to test it out. I'm going to take a picture of a cookie with it and a cookie without it.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love to know.
Yeah. So, I mean, now that I know how to print, because Heather guided me.
Corey had to take my course in the cookie college about how to use Eddie.
Guys, I can say the course is great.
I thought it was funny. Okay, so.
And then someone I read yesterday said if you were wanting to be able to lock in your image on Eddie, you can use like luster dust, and you can use those sprays with your airbrush if you want to buy them. Okay, but I'll test them all.
Corey's bringing her Grex over. We're going to have to take the class.
Yeah, I need to.
Okay, so mind to interest. Melissa, since you ended it. Corey wanted to do these, cover your ears, boobies cookies. Okay, it doesn't sound like, it's not what you think. It's a bee
with a ghost like a sheet draped over his head.
So in support of, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the cookies were really cute. I'm sure you can find them on our page, the Crumb Cookies on Facebook.
The Crumb Cookies on Instagram. Yeah, I posted them both.
But it was 2 cookies, obviously, because they come in pairs. So the cookie, the cutter, or the shape was a bee that's almost turned to the left and a bee that was turned to the right. And they're kind of like facing each other. So Corey said, I would like these 2 cutters. I need both, though, because, obviously I could have flipped them in Photoshop, but that's neither here nor there. I wanted to push myself.
Or I could have flipped them on the baking tray.
No. I've created a double-sided cookie cutter so that Corey would have 2 cut walls that came to a single point with, the handle
I was so
wall.
impressed.
I was impressed.
I was impressed by it. I was so impressed by this because it's one cutter, but you can use both sides. guys,
So
2 cutters of what?
Right, because she was on for I know any cutter I print course only going to use it one time, but instead of doing 2 separate prints, I could print it all out in one time. And I gotta say, I'm not talented in Fusion 360 at all. I do watch a lot of Sam's Cookie University classes. I did pay into that, so I could take those classes. But using the knowledge that what's her husband's name? Augusto, he's a genius. But they've labeled each part of their classes as you go along to like, this is where she covers bridges.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I can go right to that one class I know I need to take for bridges. But yeah, I created a double-sided cookie cutter. I'm really impressed with myself. The cut came out like funky, but like it worked. I'm going to post a picture in the group.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Now we're off to sponsors and Eddie. It says say something about Eddie. I used Eddie for an order yesterday. Okay, Eddie, while he's amazing, you've got to work with his parameters. If you print and you immediately bag, you have not given it enough time to dry. Ask me how I know. I had to redo 12 cookies yesterday. I thought I was above and beyond, and Eddie was
to eat them upstairs.
Grace. But Eddie does need time to dry. So I reprinted the cookies and I put it in my dehydrator for 2 hours because the order was due the next morning, and then it was no bleed. So Eddie is a water-soluble ink. You have to remember that. It is edible food coloring that is used to print on these cookies. So working with Eddie can help you benefit from it without all the headache that some people run into by bagging too early. There's some steps you can do to help prevent things like that.
I love it. Bakety Bakes. Baker Bakes. She's a small cottage baker out of Idaho who's created...
What did you call me? Oh, I can finally turn it back.
She's based, Courtney Post is based out of Idaho, where she sells Bakety Bakes meringue powder. I spelt a word wrong on the story last week, but she said, Sugar Cookie Marketing, I see y'all. I'm getting your packages out, and you guys done robbed her blind. She sent out what I gotta say looked like over 30 Bakety Bake packages. I'm sure they all went to Corrie's house.
That stuff is awesome. I had to write on this. I know if you heard the podcast yesterday, but this is my latest order. I wrote like this funny dollar bill. It was like a cartoony dollar bill on a life-size dollar bill cookie, but I had to draw over it because the cookie was too big for Eddie. So then I had to use a fine tip edible marker, and it turned out super cute.
Eddie and Bakety Bakes with their powers combined. Okay, and our newest sponsor is Cast Iron. Obviously, I've been talking about them a lot because a lot of you have been asking questions about websites. Emily and Mark have dedicated themselves to fixing all of our problems. That's what they said when we did the onboarding call with them a couple weeks ago. They're launching, the big launch will be next week, I think. I have to sync up with Emily. But let me just read to you what her key takeaway. She says, our key message is that we're a free website builder and e-commerce tool for culinary artisans. We prioritize easy, simple, and fast. You can be live with a website in minutes. It is purpose built for food. That's what they really want you guys to understand with this product that they're offering. And you Cookie College folks, I'll walk you through it. And I think that either Emily or Mark is open to doing a Facebook Live on their product in the main group too.
I know. I cannot wait.
I'll enjoy that. Okay, so no mailbag. Didn't make it to the post office. I am literally dying.
She's not as dying as she
I even
was
did a
last
COVID test and it came back negative. Like, if I'm going to be this sick, at least let it be like the news one.
You're not even that sick, you weirdo. You're just a big baby.
I'm hot and I'm tired.
It is hot in this room.
Okay, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you next week.